and say what we see as some of the next steps, so we get all that before anybody has to leave, and then we can stay, some additional minutes if people can to get some feedback as well, because we'd love to have that. This was a breakthrough meeting in many ways, and we got a lot of feedback about putting the two together. We still want to make it better. It's exhausting. We're all exhausted after whatever it was, 3 or 4 or 5 days here, so we'll think about a better way to do that. But how special to bring 40 or 50 patients into the ENETS meeting and get that kind of interaction going, have that symposium, which, look, none of us knew how successful or not it would have been. It could have been us sitting in this room, sitting in that room with 4 or 5 other people, and I think we would have felt very differently about it. There were a couple hundred people there. We learned a lot. We got, both through that and the follow-up meeting we had today, I think we really reinforced the kind of potential collaboration partnership. We can't let up on that, so we really have to follow through. So we have to finish up the paper. Steve Bridges isn't here anymore, but he's working hard to summarize the survey results. I know everybody's interested in those, so we'll get that out to you for your use right now. We don't want to publish anything until we're ready to really do all this, but we want you all to get the feedback as to what it is that who participated, what we learned from that. We're going to do another draft of the white paper. We'll circulate that to everybody as well. The goal here is and this is an INCA white paper. It's not an ENETS INCA white paper. It's a INCA white paper that we're going to use not only to inform ourselves, but also to start to put forth some of the priority areas for attention that we believe need to be addressed. The ENETS people have already said, we need that, we want that, so we can also, in a sense, prepare a response. And they're very interested in potentially having a pair of articles potentially appear in their magazine, the Neuroendocrinology, I guess. That's 2-3 steps down the road. The first thing is we want to get it right with all of your help in terms of the white paper and in terms of what's next. So all of that work we did this morning, we'll get the videos, especially the videos of the panel, out to you right away. That we don't really have to edit that. I think it's terrific. And thank you, Bill, again, Bill Claxton, for videotaping this entire meeting. We'll get that out to you. You can please do in the next couple of weeks review it. If it provokes another idea or something that you really wanted to emphasize that you thought was important that we didn't report on in the groups or whatever, want to make a list of things that we can say, look, these are the kinds of things that need to be done, and then hopefully extract a few of the really actionable things that we really want to get attention to and make part of our work plan going forward as INCA, but also in partnership with the Medical Society. So we've opened the dialogue. We've gotten good response. We need to follow through on the insights. We need to follow through on our recommendations, and then we need to figure out how to engage a lot of people, but especially those medical societies, and as Kathy reminded us yesterday, other members of the multidisciplinary team, including and especially the nurses. And I think our goal would be, board meeting is second Tuesday in the month, so by the second Tuesday in April, if we can have all of that input from everybody and the board could start to look at a near final draft of that paper so we can really move that to the next level, I think that would be ideal. Sound about right? Questions, comments? Yeah, Simone.
Can I just say, listening to Christine, I'm sorry I don't want to steal your thunder, but what an opportunity to be able to speak to those French doctors. Is that because that brings you so good? You made some contacts.
Yeah, also difficult because they were available and
exactly, and I think
very with no stress and
and it gives the patient credibility. I think a lot more if they're at a medical conference, the clinicians are more likely to engage as well.
I have a special request with the white paper. Is it possible to have it in advance, to have enough time to translate and to be at the same time as the other countries? When we have to publish it?
Well, first of all, we're not putting anything out for a while, so this is really internal, but I certainly think, we need to be sensitive to that point for you and other non-English speakers for sure. So give you as much time as possible to review and do the translations necessary. And, hopefully if this is as good an effort as we think it's going to be, and this is mostly review of us, right, that we're talking about now, we can seek and secure some support from some of the sponsors who are here today, maybe some foundations, charitable foundations or others who see this as a really unique way for patients and doctors to work together. And I was very interested in the not rare, but not uncommon, or what, that was really creative, and we should think about how we even call it, but that there's something very special we're developing here, and maybe somebody would, give us some support for that. So for now, it's our review, our members in this room, that's most important. And then as we go beyond that, for sure, and involve others. And don't forget, we're also going to involve the clinicians who were involved in the interviews as well in that review. So Alan and Joe?
Do you have a vision on that, or do we have a vision on it?
If you didn't hear, the question was, what's the process, I think, with ENETS in terms of moving forward? I think we need to think about what we want, and I've had some advice from some of you, and I think we need to hear, as they process it, what they want. I think they feel very positive about this as a first step. I think we've always been wary of the fact that it may be as much as they really wanted to achieve this year. I don't think it's the case, but I think we need to go back to them with a plan. I think some of you heard that when Theodore and I met with the executive committee, essentially, of ENETS the other day, it was Bertram who volunteered that whatever, this was before the symposium too, whatever comes out, that there needs to be some coming together of the two to figure out exactly what it's going to mean. He mentioned the publication, but he also mentioned some of the guidelines kinds of things that we were bringing up, quite frankly, in terms of what happens next time around. So great question. I think we need to not just sit around for a few months and wait for them. We need to have a plan and move it further. Joe, you had a comment?
Yeah, just a comment on Christine's comment, really, because I think technically the onus on translating stuff that INCA produces shouldn't be on member organisations. It should be an INCA responsibility, and I think for non-English speaking members, I think it's very important that INCA provides translated documentation.
Thank you for that comment. Good. Did you have a hand up, Josh, or was that no? Okay. Okay. Alan. Other Bill. Stepping to the microphone, Bill Claxton.
Last year, ESMO made a change to the status of advocates. And I was wondering whether one of our longer-term goals would be also to have ENETS change our advocacy status to like semi-pro or something like that, to bring us more fully into the fold.
Yeah, great. I don't know much about it. Let's look into it.
This was something that was brought up at the outdoor in Munich where Kathy and I were, and at my presentation of INCA, this was something that I highlighted, so I'm hoping it's in their heads already.
Yeah, I remember, I can't remember what discussion, it may have been at our last summit when we were setting goals of trying to engage the doctors a little bit or whatever, and somebody, I think it was Joe, somebody said, be bold, push hard and get on the committee and everything else. Well, within a couple of months, Kathy and Theodora got on their advisory board, and now here we are with, I think, some much more tangible evidence of their commitment. So we have to keep pushing. And I think it was Dr. Ferrello, is he still here? Who said something about, really push the ENETS leadership. But again, ENETS may be the first place because a lot of you not only have centers of excellence in your communities, but there's also, as so many of you pointed out brilliantly, some real leverage points in terms of your working with and through the centers of excellence. But we don't want to neglect, ComNets and NANETS and other specialty societies or specialty groups in our countries. I think this is really the opportunity to really broaden both our appeal but also our influence in that way. And we don't do it unless we do it together. Siobhan.
I
thank you to everyone for pulling together those talks. I know everyone's pretty taxed after a long week. And I was going to say that there should be an award for best presentation, and if I was to choose it, it would have to be the Italians. That was just phenomenal, I thought. It was just so stunning and beautiful, and I thought it was just incredible.
And they were the best singers at dinner last night, too. And sorry, Mark.
All right,
I'm sure someone's I just want to say from behalf of the board and probably everyone here, say thank you to Theodora and to Ron.
Theodora.
Thank you so much for all the effort that you've put into bringing this together, because there wasn't a huge amount of notice to bring it all together, and yeah, especially to Theodora for chasing us, because the board weren't always responding to your emails, and you were so patient with us and so polite, even when you were probably tearing your hair out. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Theodora's going to have a long sleep after this, I hope. After Paris. That's right. She's going to a meeting right after this, and some of you are going to be there too. So anything else for the good of the broad cause? I'm happy to hang around and get any other comments, but some people have planes to catch. And okay. Well, again, thank you. Safe travels. Keep up the inspiring work. Talk to each other, access each other's material. Do you want to add a final word?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone. It's been an amazing honor to be part of this and to see something come into reality, something that we've been talking about and inspiring into for how many years now. It's an amazing team to work with. It's really challenging sometimes across time zones and everything. But this is like nothing else, so I really feel rewarded and look forward to what's ahead in terms of our partnership and achievements going forward. So thank you.